What's up, YouTube? I'm Jaire Alexander, your host for Pour Another Packers podcast. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. We are another week gone, another week closer to the start of training camp. It is less than 30 days away. That's exciting. I can't believe, it feels like we're halfway through summer when training camp is just around the corner. There'll be a lot more Packer news, but before we get to all that training camp nonsense, I'm here to break down your top 5 potential breakout players on the Packers roster heading into the 2019 season. So without further ado, it's time we pour ourselves another Packers podcast. So as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for checking out the video. I know I have a few dedicated viewers out there that check in every week. I want you to know that doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate it so much. Comment down below. I will respond to your comments down below. I am there to engage with the community. If this thing is going to grow, I need you guys. So remember, comment down below. I love the conversation. I'll talk all day. I know Christian and I, we just go back and forth in text messages outside of just commenting on YouTube. But hey, I'm here to talk. I want to talk Packer news. It's slow right now, but this is when we have all the hypotheticals, a lot of fun time. But you know what's not hypothetical? It's this list of top 5 players. These 5 players that are destined to have breakout seasons. Now, a couple things about this list before I get started. I made some rules when I made this list. The first rule was no Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, yes, will probably have a breakout season compared to his last 2 seasons. That's called a bounce back season. That goes for Jimmy Graham as well. These are players that have already established themselves as great football players who it's not a surprise or a surprise if they have a successful season. That's just what they do. That's who they are. So I've eliminated the veterans, those types of players. The other players that I have eliminated, and this one was hard for me, is the rookie class. Now, why this was so hard for me is because I am all aboard the Darnell Savage hype train. He is going to be an incredible football player. He's going to have a breakout season, but I did not want to put him on this list. He might have a breakout season more so next year or possibly his 3rd year, but he's going to be a difference maker. I love him. So those are the rules. And so let's talk about our 5 players. At number 5, Geronimo Allison is who I have at number 5. And this was a tough pick for me to do at number 5 because there's a string of receivers out there behind Davante Adams that all have that opportunity to be a difference maker, to have a breakout season in the 2019 season. You look at Jake Kumaro, you look at Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you look at St. Brown. These are all players that have the potential to make a name for themselves, to make themselves a household name in the 2019 season. But the reason why I gave the nod to Geronimo and the reason he is number 5 on my list is because he is going to get that first shot at that number 2 position at the wide receiver. And he has proven before that he is capable of making plays when plays count. So he's coming into his 4th season on the Packers roster. So I've been a member of the team since 2016. Throughout those years, he's only had 55 receptions throughout 3 seasons. He's only had 758 yards throughout those seasons. And he's only had 4 touchdowns throughout those 4 seasons. So these are all statistics, in my opinion, that tell us that he is set up for a breakout season, because I can see him in 2019 matching those totals that he has had for his first 3 years in Green Bay. Long gone is Randall Cobb. Long gone is Jordy Nelson. Davante Adams is that number 1. You need that number 2. Geronimo is set up to be that number 2. He's going to get a lot of opportunity. He's going to get, he's the man. He can make the catch. I have a Say Geronimo song that I play every time he scores a touchdown, which I'll get to playlists and making jello shots in later videos, because I all know that you guys want to know essentially how I party for Packer games. But yes, number 5, Geronimo, not much else to say about him. He's set up perfectly to have a breakout season. At number 4, We start with my defensive side of the ball with Kenny Clark. So everything is lined up really well for Kenny Clark. And Kenny is kind of a tough person to put on this list because they have been saying for the last 2 seasons, quite frankly, that he is destined to have a breakout year. And he's had some respectable statistics over the last couple of years. Last year, 55 tackles and 6 sacks. The previous year, 55 tackles, 4.5 sacks. So it's not a big jump year over year. The reason why I think Kenny Clark is going to have a breakout season in 2019 is because he's not alone on that defensive rush anymore. And that is huge for him, and it's going to create opportunities for him. You're not going to be able to double team him quite so often because you're going to have Zadarius and Preston Smith coming in there. Hopefully Mike Daniels can stay healthy, and he'll make a difference on that defensive line. You'll have Lowry. You have all sorts of weapons on the defense that is going to cause problems for the offensive line, and that's going to open up opportunity for Kenny Clark. The other thing with Kenny Clark is he's coming into a contract year, so he wants to make that money. He's still on his rookie contract. He wants to make that money. He wants to probably re-sign for the Packers because I don't know why you'd want to play for any other team. And so it's just going to be all motivating factors for him to succeed, for him to have a successful year. Number 4 on the breakout list. I think that's a perfect place for him. At number 3, my boy, Blake Martinez. Blake, you have had some really successful seasons in Green Bay, and I think you all can agree that he's had some successful seasons. I used to pull up the jersey and show you that I jumped on his bandwagon as soon as he got drafted. He has a super high motor, he has great vision, and he loves playing football. He loves tackling people. He loves tackling people so much that he led the league in tackles last season. All right, correction. Blake did actually not come in first last season with total tackles. That award went to Darius Leonard at outside linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts. But I get excited sometimes, and this is the first of 3 mistakes. And he tied for the lead this season before with tackles. Throughout his 3 years in Green Bay, 357 combined tackles, 123 assisted tackles, and this is where the breakout part comes because he's only had 7 sacks in his first 3 seasons in Green Bay. And just like Geronimo Allison, I see Kenny Clark's statistics. Okay, so second mistake, I did not mean to say Kenny Clark just now. Obviously, I meant to say Blake Martinez, but when you're drinking and filming these podcasts, you know, things just kind of come out. It impairs my speech. I apologize. Matching up with his career statistics in that sack category. He's going to have more sacks this season. He had 5 last year, his first year under Mike Pettine's defense. He's going to be lined up to have 7 sacks, 8 sacks, if not 9 sacks. I'm saying sacks too much. He's going to have a successful season. He's going to have a breakout season. Also coming into his contract year, which means when you're a little bit motivated by that money, when you're motivated to continue your career in Green Bay, especially with all the high praise that he gets from his teammates and from the coaches. He is a huge centerpiece for the success of this defense. He is the quarterback of this defense. He's making sure everyone around him is where they need to be. He's there recognizing plays, and he's got Oren Burks, to kind of coach up and coming into his sophomore year to make him a better player. That linebacking group is looking very dangerous. The whole defense is looking pretty dangerous. And to add the danger element even a little bit further, we talk about number 2 on my list, and this was a hard one for me to pick. So at number 2, we have our boy, Jaire Alexander. It was really tough for me to not put Jaire Alexander at number 1 on this list. I honestly think both number 1 and number 2 are interchangeable. Jaire is coming into a breakout year without any doubt in my mind. If he can stay healthy, he is going to have a breakout year for the Packers. In his first season, he only had a half a sack, 1 interception. He's coming in that, that's a rookie year. You're on a new defense. You're trying to figure out the speed of the NFL. And the one thing that I see out of Jaire more than any other player is he is all business, 100% business. He is focused on his goals and what he wants to do in the NFL. He hopefully will still have that arrogance and cockiness to them more when the season rolls around, especially if he gets out there on the field and he's making plays. He is primed and ready and locked and loaded when it comes to having an all-pro year. He wants to make the Pro Bowl. He wants to be known as an all-pro cornerback. And the thing we have to keep in mind is that Mike Pettine specifically is known for having great cornerbacks throughout his offense. Third and final mistake, obviously Mike Pettine has nothing to do whatsoever with the offense. He is the defensive coordinator, so don't get in your mind that he has anything going on with that side of the ball. If you think back to the days of Cleveland, if you think back to the days of the Jets when he had Darrelle Revis as his cornerback, who obviously just freaking blew up out of the water, and I think he ended up just crashing and burning for the rest of his career. But Mike Pettine is known for having these lockdown corners. And Jaire is going to have a chance to prove himself a lot when you talk about just the division matchups that he's going to have against some really good receivers, with the Bears having Allen Robinson and Riley Ridley. When you talk about out in the Vikings, they have Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. And then you look at the Lions. Well, the Lions don't really... Who do the Lions have? I'm sorry, I don't follow the Lions. I should probably follow the Lions more. I'm trying to get a Lions podcast to interview with me, so I can hear a little bit more about the team, because I don't really follow them a whole lot. You guys are gonna learn real quick that I am a Lion hater. They're not even my least favorite team in the division, but I don't really care. I don't worry about the Lions. We're losing track of topics. So anyway, Jaire Alexander. He is set up for a breakout season. Number 2 on my list. It was hard for me to put him at number 2. I wanted to remain unbiased when making this list, and that's okay, because the number 1 option is Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones has all the opportunity to succeed in this 2019 season. When you look at his stats, so throughout his 2 seasons in Green Bay, he had 214 attempts, 1,100 yards, almost 1,200 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns, and that is on a offense that primarily focuses on passing the ball. That is on a Mike McCarthy offense that couldn't get anything going last year. And you could probably... we won't blame Aaron Rodgers for audibling, because I don't want to get into that whole story. But this entire offense is built for a player like Jones, who can slash and dash, run through the line of scrimmage and gain yards. But it's also built for a receiver who can go out of the backfield and get open and catch and make receptions. The Packers have not had a 1,000-yard rushing running back, which I don't know what other kind of running backs there are, but they haven't had a 1,000-yard running back since 2014, when Eddie Lacy, of all people... Oh, I miss Eddie Lacy. He was the best. Why couldn't he have stayed? That's going on 5 years of not having a 1,000-yard rushing running back. I remember for years they would throw that statistic on the board that if you had a 100-yard rushing running back, the win percentage would just go through the roof. You keep the team on their toes. They're not sure if you're passing or running. Aaron Jones, you're completely set up for it. The only asterisk that I can put on Aaron Jones for this is the X factor of Jamal Williams and Dexter Williams. These guys are going to get a lot of carries too. It's going to be that 3-headed monster in the backfield that I keep talking about in previous videos. But Aaron Jones is going to have that number 1 running back position. It's his job to lose. As long as he can stay energized, as long as he can be out in the field, he's going to be making differences and waves all over the field. And that gets you very excited. So you think about it, we have a breakout player at running back, we have a breakout player at cornerback, we have a breakout player at the linebacker, our defensive line, and then one of our receivers, whether it's Geronimo or Kumaro or one of the sophomores coming into their second season. There are players set up on this team to have an incredible year, and add that to the already stellar cast of players that we have. There's a lot to be excited about. If you're a Packer fan, there's a lot to be excited about this team. And I am biased, but I'm not just blowing smoke at you. There's potential all over this place. If they can get coached up, we're going to be in for a very fun ride. It's going to be a fun season. We're going to be in every game. We're going to be winning at least 14 Super Bowls. It's going to get crazy. So stay tuned to that. So that wraps up the video. That is my top 5 breakout players for the upcoming 2019 season. I'm curious who you guys would put on this list, who you think is set up for a breakout year. If you comment below, I personally promise you, if you comment within the next month, really before training camp starts, I will reply to your comment, and we can have a conversation, because I love interacting with fellow Packer fans. We all have a common passion when it comes to the green and gold. We all bleed green and gold. So comment down below. Let me know who you think is going to make the list. I hope there's more than 5, quite frankly, but these are the 5 that stand out to me. As always, subscribe down below. If you subscribe, hit that little bell button. If you hit that bell button, which just sounds weird coming out of my mouth, you will get email notifications as soon as my next video drops. I am currently on the path to keep posting every Friday, but once the season rolls around, you're going to be noticing a couple things changing. I'm going to be posting a lot more content because there's going to be a lot more to talk about, and you're going to probably want to be up on the latest Packer news. And if you enjoy the show, well, hopefully you do, and you want to see more content, and that's what I'm here for, and that's what it's all about. So thank you for checking out the video. It's another week gone. Enjoy your weekend. It's going to be 90 degrees here in good old Wisconsin. So get outside, have some fun, enjoy the summer while it's here. Packers season's just around the corner. A lot to get excited about. And until then, I'll see you. Until next time? Yeah. Until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Thanks for watching.